Newcastle last night, I watched it. 3-1. Everton were pretty poor, really. What about San Maximum? What about that player that Newcastle have? What a player he is.
Unplayable.
Unbelievable.
On that kind of performance.
Yeah.
Unplayable.
So where are we at with it? Newcastle beat Everton. Everton in trouble, but so too are Newcastle. But Newcastle have moved out of the relegation zone.
Massive.
What did the game tell us about the two sides' trajectories? Lampard certainly post-match was under no illusions about the challenges they face as a club at Everton.
It's not a wake-up call for me, and I don't think it should be a wake-up call for the fans because they've seen it. They've seen this season how it's panned out. The way the team were playing, the level of confidence, that's why I'm here, to change that. But if anyone thought it was a magic wand after Saturday that we would win back to back in the Premier League and fly up the table, then that was never going to be the case. We have to understand where we are. We've got 17 games to go. I believe in this squad, but there's work to be done.
So, I mean, I think there is no doubt about it, and I like Everton a lot. I'm so sorry to say it because their fans are brilliant. They are in a relegation battle.
They are, Jim, and I'm not sure Dele Alli and Donny van der Beek are going to be the answer. I think the answer lies within it already. The shape that they played the weekend in the FA Cup against Brentford was right. They lost a player, I think an important player. They've just lost Mina as well. Yerry Mina went off injured. I think they're in trouble. I think they have got good players, but until they get Dominic Calvert-Lewin in his striking position, until they get Richarlison back out on the left and get that shape back, and maybe Decore back in with legs, I think they're going to drop points left, right and centre. I think the substitution Frank made last night was probably the wrong one. He's got two wingers on the bench with El Ghazi and Iwobi, and he brought on Dele Alli for Damari Gray. That's a square peg in a round hole. It doesn't work. But let's flip it. I thought Newcastle were absolutely outstanding.
Yeah.
I thought St James's Park was, as I remember when I used to play there in the early 90s, it was a special place to play. I think Target, is the result of Luca Digne leaving and going to Villa. But also, I think he's under the radar. He's going to be a very important player. We all know Wood has been brought into the club and Guimaraes. But Trippier, we mentioned him at when he made the move, and me and Simon had a debate about why he went to the football club. I think anyone in the right mind, if they watch that performance and the desire and the energy and the leadership and the intensity and the will to win that he's shown last night, he's not there for money. He's there to do something special.
I mean, to be fair to you, Simon, you didn't say at the time, well, he's only going there for money.
No, of course I didn't. That's the narrative that's been peddled out by people who don't listen. I said that it's a contributing factor because you're going to a club that's in a relegation zone, you're getting an extension on your contract and more money. Of course it's a contributing factor. If you want to take offence at it because people want to be offended because it happens to be the case and somehow it undermines the position of Newcastle United as this wonderful draw, if the money wasn't there, he wouldn't have been going to Newcastle. It's as simple as that. If he was going for, if they were reducing the money that he was on at Atletico Madrid, he wouldn't have gone there. If they were offering him the same money that he was on Atletico Madrid, he probably wouldn't have gone there. If they weren't offering him a longer term contract, he probably wouldn't have gone there.
No, there was other reasons why he went to the football club. He wanted to get back to the north of England. His wife's pregnant. His wife and his family didn't live in Spain with him. So
but you do accept it's a contributing factor, it was advanced.
I don't care where he goes. He's going to get money because he's a top player.
Sure, but it's a contributing factor.
Well, of course it is. Everyone needs to earn a living.
If he goes somewhere else, right, and that team is in extension, is ascending, and he's going to a top six side, you make the argument. When you're going to a bottom three side, right, you're going, in part, of course, when you get there, you're going to do your job. Why wouldn't you do your job? It's not a bonus for him to be on a pitch playing well, Trevor. He's on the pitch doing the job that he was brought to play.
I understand that, Simon, but what I'm saying is it's a special case, isn't it?
Why?
It happened to Blackburn way back when. It happened to Chelsea at a certain time.
Sure.
It happened to Manchester City.
And the same questions could be asked.
It's a club where there's potentially an exciting project to go to.
But the motivation, in part, the motivation was financial.
Yeah, a little bit.
And you pushed back on that and said it wasn't. No one said it was the only reason.
Well, a big bag of cash is what you kept on repeating.
A big bag of cash is what he's getting. And by definition, that is not. There's nothing wrong with that.
No, I don't.
But people taking offence at it and saying he's gone to a bottom three side as an international footballer playing for the champions of Spain. He's gone to Newcastle for the weather. And ultimately, because he's got a better opportunity there. No, he may have a better opportunity if they get it right. Now, there was a very distinct possibility. I didn't think they would do. They were going to get relegated. And by the way,
we agreed on that.
If they spend £100 million in the January transfer window, they've no business being relegated. So let's not get on the camp of Eddie Howe as a saviour.
I agree with that.
The result last night was as much about Everton being appalling as it was about Newcastle being very good.
Yeah.
Because Everton in the first 5 minutes were all over the place. They gave Newcastle their head.
Yeah.
Then you lose Mina. Then you lose Damari Gray, who I thought was a problem for them.
I think that was the
that's what
biggest
took the balance
changing
out of the
point.
side
Yeah,
and took
absolutely.
the balance out of them. Then you can't defend
No.
set pieces. And then Newcastle have got Alan St. Maximin, who is just... Why would you line Seamus Coleman up against him?
Yeah.
He took 4
Yeah.
yards out of him.
Well,
with
who'd you
10.
line up against him?
Well, not Seamus Coleman, because his legs are gone. But the bottom line is that Frank's got problems there. That's his problem. Now Everton are busily working themselves into a big problem. Because this was not just any other game. This was a game against a team that's going to potentially replace you in the Premier League, that's beneath you in the league. And you brought a manager in to fix that problem who's got a result against Brentford, and they should have had more about them. You've got players like Townsend that were lightweight and absent on the pitch. It's just not good enough yesterday from Everton.
Before you said, I don't think Everton have got a problem in terms of
looking at
fighting the drop. Now, have you changed your tune?
I hate to be one of these reactionary micromanaged people because I'm always advocating macro. Look at the bigger picture. But looking at what you saw there, you have to give credit to Newcastle because Newcastle was so motivated.
Yeah.
The crowd was so positive, and there's so much energy around that football club that's fantastic for them. And I want them to be successful. Yeah, all these binary morons from Newcastle at times that come on Twitter and start calling us names because we don't agree with every single syllable of their words. Up yours, couldn't care less what you think. But the real Newcastle fans that have an objective frame of mind, I want them to be successful.
Yeah.
I want this fabulous football club to be, punching its weight.
And you still feel that the contract that Trippier signed, Kieran, we want you. It's a
He's a
project.
good
It's
player.
this. It's that. It's the next. But
He's a hell of a
that's
project.
what we're going to pay
He's a hell
you.
of a project, right? For a 31-year-old,
Yeah.
right? Going into a club on probably the last contract of his career of any substance.
It's a great move for him.
It's a hell of a project in terms of giving up the championship in Spain to potentially go into it. Took,
But maybe,
it
there was things.
Yeah, but Trevor, what we're saying is-
Newcastle 5 years. Sorry, Man City 5 years to do anything under that ownership.
He won't be
He's going
part
to be
of that.
gone
Yeah.
by that time. So
it
it's
was
not
a key
really
thing, though, Trevor. The line of "that's what we'll pay you, Kieran." That obviously played into it.
It played into it, of course it did.
Yeah,
And
that's
I think there's lots of
and that's all anybody
contributors.
said.
There was lots of contributors. One, I think the project. I think as we look at the contract that
Is there similarity between the Northwest and the Northeast?
no, I don't think so.
So,
I
but he
think
comes from the
North
Northwest
East-
then. So what's the Northeast got to do with it then?
Well, to be honest, I've got an affinity with Newcastle, and I'll tell you
Kieran
this-
Trippier. He's
Oh,
come
right.
back
Well,
to
it's
England.
the North,
He's a-
isn't it? So you can.
Oh, sorry, it says North. Everyone in the North
I
is
don't
the same.
think. I don't think the family wanted to move to Spain, basically.
Okay.
So it was one of them. So, but look at
Hadn't they been living there for 2 years then?
the reason why I like Newcastle so much, and I'll tell you this story. I've never told this before. When I was
They
13,
wanted to sign you.
when I was 13, I got into the show. I got to the last trials, and then I had a chat with Bob Robson. He said, "Listen, your report's not great, your behaviour's not great, your results are not great with academia, and it's going to be difficult for us to take you." And my mum called at the time Sam Ellis, who was Blackpool's manager, told Sam, "Please help me. I need to get Trevor out of the area. He's getting into trouble." And she spoke to Bobby, and Bobby then changed his mind and accepted me into Lilleshall, which changed my life.
Right.
So, with Bobby having such an affinity with Newcastle,
Okay.
that's why I like Newcastle.
Jim White and Simon Jordan. Monday to Thursday morning, 10 till 1. On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.